Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Italian Job 6. We've gone off the deep end with the end of the second trilogy. While the meta in the first few weeks of a new set is usually a faster aggro environment, we're coming in with a lot of the meat and potatoes of the core of our Italian Job series of decks. We have added a defensive card to help out early while we work on building our board. With previous versions, we set out to win games with a variety of big cards, and the latest set has brought us another big card that we aim to use to take over games. Let's get in there. We're playing 3 copies of Authority of the Consuls as a deterrent to hasty men. The life gain also helps us stay in fights longer against opponents leaning into fast, early men. Their men enter tapped, making it difficult to have men available to throw blocks. While we don't have an overwhelming amount of men, we are able to generate tokens in numbers, and the Authority makes it so they have a tough time blocking up. Into the Flood Maw is a staple of our Italian Job series. It's a great delay to an early threat, and later in the game we can give them a sushi and bounce any non-land permanent that needs to go back to their hand. And all for just 1 mana. Stormchaser's talent is another staple that we're going to have help us out yet again. It's a 1 mana enchantment that gives us our valuable Otter token that we can use to block, or we can send it in for hits if the opponent is slow on the draw. When we level it up to level 2, we can get back an instant or sorcery in our grave. And at level 3, we'll generate an Otter with every instant and sorcery we fire off. It's been a great engine that works to get us cards we need in a pinch. Spectral Restitching is a utility card that can save our men and artifacts from sweepers or removals, but we can also use it to hold off enemy men or clear them out to be able to get in hits. It's a great delay tactic that can buy us a bit of time. Doppelgang is our duplication tool. It can copy any of our permanents or the opponent's if they have a potential game-winning card in play. Firing one off can often end the game, but if not, we can get it back with a talent and give it a second go. Or third, or fourth. Stock Up is our dig card. It can get us cards we need right off the top of our deck. That's the 2 best cards out of the top 5, and thanks to the talents we've brought along, we can get the Stock Up out of our grave. So easy. Even a caveman could do it. Ancient Cornucopia is a bit of ramp, color fixing, and life gain all in 1 card. The Horn of Plenty gives us the ability to fire off our sweeper on turn 4, and the life gain can keep us in positive life totals to be able to carry out our plans. Appa, the Steadfast Guardian, is a new card. This little beast has flash, so we can play it out at instant speed. When Appa enters play, we get to airbend any number of our permanents. That means we can save our stuff from removals, or we can use it to reset a talent and get more cards back from our grave. This guy also has an ability that generates a 1/1 token whenever we play a card from exile. These are extra blockers to help defend our life total or some small attackers. And thanks to flying, Appa can get in there. Beyond the Quiet is our sweeper of choice, Still. It will clear out all men and spacecraft, regardless of any abilities. Sure, there are cheaper cards out there, but we want men gone, and this will do just that. There is no coming back when we send them beyond the Quiet. The Legend of Yangchen is another new card that will exile a pair of the opponent's permanents that are 3 mana or more. We get to pick one, and then the opponent chooses one of their permanents to exile. It's additional removal if they have bigger men on board, or it's great at taking out other problematic permanents. On Chapter 2, we can have the opponent draw 3 cards, and if we do, we'll draw 3 as well. It's a May ability, so you don't have to give the opponent anything if you don't want to. On Chapter 3, it flips over to its avatar form, which has an ability that we get to airbend a non-land permanent whenever we play out a second card each turn. We can use this ability on opposing permanents or our own to reset them, or potentially save them from a removal. The green virtue is here as well. It can get us one of our men from the grave or a land. And later in the game, we can play it out to triple the mana we get from our basic lands. That kind of mana enables enormous doppels, big enough to crush opponents under the weight of our powerful permanents. Meteor Sword is a new equipment. It gives a stat boost to the men we equip, but when it enters, it will destroy any permanent we want. Sure, it might cost us 7, but once we get one in play, it will be a favorite target to copy in multiples with a Doppel. Say goodbye to the opponent's board. We're clearing everything out. For lands, we're playing 4 Fabled Passage, the special land we can sacrifice to fetch out any basic from our deck. 3 Lush Oasis, the Simic Desert. 3 Creosote Heath, the Selesnya Desert. 3 Lonely Arroyo, the Azorius Desert. 4 Forest, 4 Island, and 4 Plains. Playing the deck requires some amount of patience. We tend to fall behind early while we're setting up our board, but we have one of the best mid and end games in the current standard. Early on, we want to use our defensive measure to hold off enemy men while building up mana and using cards to enhance our board. Clear men out with our sweeper when needed and work towards wrecking their board with a Meteor Sword and many copies of it. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Hog Raider. I'm pretty sure that's what he meant to type in, but he butterfingered it badly. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander. We have Simic lands, but that will be enough to let us fire off our stock up, and in the meantime we have a bounce to fend off a decent-sized early threat. Keep your pants on. They play out a food fight, an enchantment that makes their expendable artifacts into little bombs. They play out a synthesizer of all things. I'm not sure what's going on with the food fight. I don't think these two go together. Food fight is a whole different deck, if you ask me. That's our 3rd mana down, and we can finally fire off our stock up. We do have to prioritize a land. We're completely missing any white mana. A 2nd stock up is good, as we can use it on our next turn to react to anything they play out. The talent would have been a solid choice, as well as that will get us the stock up we've just used, but this way we can keep digging through the deck. We have to toss a card. The one we can afford to let go is the Authority. Sorry, bro. We'll miss you. To our horror, they play out a Bay. That will get them their first Robot Overlord, and with a 2-mana artifact, they can start fetching out other 3-mana artifacts, like more synthesizers. We'll use our bounce to make their first AI disappear. Let's try to avoid taking any hits until we've exhausted our defensive measures. Next up, we'll go with our stock up after we fetch out an island. That's a 2nd white mana right there. We'll take it. And the Legend of Yangchen is a good grab, as well as that will take out both the factory and the bay. The Chapter 2 draw option is just that, an option. We don't have to give them cards. They play out a relic, and they have enough mana to transform it into something else. That's a 2nd factory they fetch out. That's another Robot Overlord for them, and a problem we'll need to deal with. We draw a Horn of Plenty, and that will be our play. Combined with the desert, we'll have the white mana to play out the Legend of Yangchen. For now, we'll follow up with the talent, and that will get us an otter we can use to block their Robot Overlord. They play out a weapons manufacturing, an enchantment that generates more artifact tokens that can hit us for damage when they leave play. To our dismay, that's a 3rd factory coming down for them. That's another pair of Robot Overlords for them, and a stat-boosting munitions token. Now I know how some of our opponents feel when we're playing a synthesizer deck. They send it, we'll go ahead and block up. Let's prevent damages when we can. We draw an Appa, but this turn we have to take out their AI men. If they're able to generate more robot overlords every turn, we're going to be done pretty quickly. They play out another food fight, but that won't generate any robot overlords. They sacrifice their munitions token, but that's only damage and doesn't spit out any robots from their factories. Come on, bro, I put in an order. I'm looking to save some cash on shipping, too. It's the end of their turn. We'll fire off our restitching and use it to blink out their bay. This will isolate their synthesizers, and we can eliminate 2 of them with our Legend of Yangchen. Surprisingly, they sacrificed their bay. That's even better. This was a temporary measure, but they're getting rid of it for us. Yangchen, you're up. Get in there. We'll select one of their factories and they'll have to choose another. That's going to be 2 of them down and out of the way. It's clearly hard to stomach, but they have no choice but to exile a second synthesizer. We'll follow up with our Virtue to get back a passage. Without the ramp cards from previous versions, we're left to play out lands the normal slow way. They play out another food fight, but those are not that effective. They follow up with a gunship, and that's going to generate a robot overlord. They sacrifice a munitions token, and that will hit us for damages. Yeah, we're going to decline to give them any cards here. We have enough for a 2-point doppel. It's not a lot, but it could work, and we can get it back with our talent for another go if it doesn't do the trick. Let's copy their synthesizer and the gunship. That will give us a small squad of robot overlords. It will be them who will want to fire off a sweeper to save their life. Copying the gunship will let us take out their men, and we'll be able to get in for damages unless they play out more blockers. On top we have a pair of lands. We'll ship them both on down. Then we have another pair of lands, but this time we'll keep the island. They give it up. Seems like we out-synthesized a synthesizer. GG's. Extra robot overlord cheese. This is Poppin' McDonald's. I'll take a cheeseburger with fries, bro. We get a shuffler special, but luckily one of our lands is a passage that we can get back with our Virtue for 3 lands total. We'll give it a shot. Keep your pants on. We'll turn the lights off because we're going to be lights out. They play out a Dream Thief. It's usually a card seen in Roots decks. And there's their key card. I don't mind taking these guys on. Roots decks as a whole have less than 50% win rate. Their chances are not so good. It's the end of their turn, and we'll use our passage to fetch out a forest. We'll use the Virtue to get back the passage, and that will be our third mana. Thanks to them being on roots, they'll be a bit slow to build up, and that might give us the time to be able to set up. They play out a second roots. That's fine, as that doesn't advance the amount of pressure they have on board. We draw a second passage, which is actually pretty good. That'll let us fix our mana. They play out a Black Overlord, which is bad news for us. They'll surely be able to get back one of their men that they milled away, and that will generate some tokens for them. The problem with Roots is that a lot of the time they're unable to do anything without their key card, but this time around they got 2 of them down already. We'll fetch out an island with our passage. We'll be able to play out our Horn of Plenty or fire off the stock up. We'll go with the Horn of Plenty, then we can follow up with one of the talents. We can leave up our bounce to deal with one of their tokens. They play out a fungus. It can be used to destroy an artifact or enchantment or draw a card. We're pretty sure they'll end up taking something out. And they use it right away to take out our talent. We don't have the recursion ability in this version, so once a talent is gone, it's gone. There's more tokens inbound, so we'll take the opportunity to bounce their untapped token before they can send it in. Stock up has to be our play. We need to find some ammo. We'll take the sweeper for sure. The restitching looks good as well, but that's just a one-shot, and then we're done. Let's take the authority, and that might let us fight on a bit longer. We'll play out the second talent after the authority. Our first otter is so pumped up, he wants to charge in for damages. And why not? Let's send it. They play out a Black Overlord for its full price. That's gotta be more tokens for them. Each token will gain us a life, and with a blocker at the ready, we won't be taking any big hit. They follow up with another fungus. On the bright side, they are about out of cards. This is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. Fire in the roots hole. Before their fungus goes away, they take out our authority. We still have the talent, so we'll have to make sure we use it before they can take it out. They play out a Dredger's Insight. We might not be able to take them down in the way we'd like. This might mean we have to make them run out of cards. They rebuild their board easily thanks to the double roots they have in play. This is going to be a tough fight. We draw another authority and we'll play it out. We'll follow up with a Yangchen, which will take out one of their men as well as the Black Overlord. What's great is that this will exile, so they won't have these men available to get back from their grave. Bro is having trouble choosing his Black Overlord. Not gonna lie, this turn looks like it's going to be rather painful. They play out another fungus. What are the chances they've gotten so many of those? They use it to take out our authority. They really don't like that enchantment. They use a Maverick to generate more tokens and pump the ones they already have. We get the card we absolutely needed to see. This time around, we do want to draw. It's 3 cards less they have in their deck. Thanks to the self-mill, they have a lot less cards in their deck than we do. Let's clear out these tokens. Then we can play out the authority. They play out a Dream Thief. It's not a concern. The concern is the tokens they can generate with their roots. Yangchen gets flipped over into its avatar form. We might be able to pressure their life total with it, and it makes an excellent blocker. Let's play out the second Horn of Plenty, then we'll follow up with our stock up. Our avatar will airbend a permanent, and we'll choose one of their roots. Let's make them play it out on their turn. They generate tokens in response. That's unfortunate, but at least we see it coming. We'll take the sweeper and grab the passage. Another board clear could be critical. We've got no choice but to take a land. We'll level up our talent this turn and get back a stock up. Let's see what else we can dig up. We'll take the Restitching this time and the third Horn of Plenty. It might not be much life gain, but every little bit could help. Let's fire off our bounce and hit one of their tokens. This will trigger our avatar and we can use the airbend ability on the other token. They really hate to see it. Let's send it. We've got a couple of defensive cards in hand and we've got life gain going, so we might be able to press for damages. They generate more tokens and maybe we should have kept back our blocker. The life gain does help us out, but those tokens could get huge. They play out a third Roots. They're one short of the full set. They follow up with another Dredger's Insight, which mills away some cards. That's what we want to see. They send it, and that's a solid set of damages. We go all the way down to 6. They play out a Bloodghast. It's not something that is in Roots lists. We'll play out our third Horn of Plenty, then follow up with our board wipe. The Bloodghast is not something we want to see go in their grave. We'll follow up with stock up and hopefully grab some more firepower. That's another sweeper. We need it. And we'll take the virtue. We haven't had a chance to play out the first one, but as the game goes on, we should have an opening for one of them. They are certainly not running out of men. They reload their team. It's unfortunate to see them do this time and time again. I think we're at that point now where we can drop in a virtue for its full price. Remember to always manually tap, or the auto tapper will not leave you much mana. Now we can fire off the sweeper and clear out this set of enemy men. Getting our talent to level 3 is easy now, as it only costs us 2 lands to do so. Every instant and sorcery will generate an otter token for us from here on out. They play out a maverick. That seems to be all they have. This has been a long game, and unfortunately we have to continue this later. You'll see the ending in about 12 hours from when this video was posted, so hang in there.